Our greatest chapter? Any guesses? I'm thinking Rachel, Leah, and Dinah. The energy that fuels each of our weeks finds its spark from the weekly Parsha. These are the heroines of Vayishlach. We seek to not only mirror, but drive their amazing spiritual energy further. It has been handed off to us in exile, and for 64 years, the baton has been firmly in hand. Let's begin with Rachel. The Torah describes Rachel as having beautiful features and a beautiful complexion. Let's find a great example of this, okay? Come on, mitzvah girl, Mera. Okay, back to the Torah. It's unusual for the Torah to spill ink on this. Beautiful features and a beautiful complexion. You'll be next, buddy. Rachel was a communicator, charismatic and appealing to others. She commanded a sphere of influence. Her beautiful complexion alludes to the shining of her countenance. Her Hebrew name Rachel is numerically equivalent to the phrase Vayehi Or, and there was light. With Rachel, there was light. The environment was illuminated with her presence. Now we turn to Leah. The Torah describes Leah as having tender eyes. Again, unusual words from the Torah. Rashi deduces that Leah's tender eyes allude to her constant weeping. Her eyes were red and soft from the many tears she shed. She wept in prayer, entreating God to shift the course of her destiny. She had been destined to marry Esau, coarse and corrupt as he was. She prayed earnestly that her fate be changed. So potent were her prayers that she married Yaakov instead of Esau. The Talmud displays Leah as the example of effective prayer. Her communication with God actually rewrote her life script. Listen, folks, her communication with God actually rewrote her life script. Day in and day out, she lifted her voice to heaven, and her words never became stale or repetitious. When Leah was expecting her 7th child, sound familiar? She prayed to God that it not be a baby boy. Miraculously, the male fetus in her womb flipped genders, allowing her sister Rachel to contribute not 1, but 2 of the 12 sons. Joseph was that son who inherited her capacity to create a dynamic sphere of influence. Once again, Leah's prayers, like a perfectly posed arrow, reach straight to heaven, and her fate shifts. A female baby, Dinah, is born. The Torah says Dinah. This is where it gets good, guys. Trust me. The Torah says Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she bore to Yaakov, went out to see the daughters of the land. Quote, Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she bore to Yaakov, went out to see the daughters of the land. The Torah introduces Dinah as Leah's child. She is not introduced as the daughter of Jacob. Because of her going out, she is called the daughter of Leah. For Leah too was an outgoer. Like mother, like daughter. Shout out to Talia. Hey Rob, are you listening? Like mother, like daughter. At first glance, this seems like an indictment of Leah's and Dinah's behavior. The hallmark of the Jewish woman is her modesty in dress and demeanor, expressed by the verse, quote, The entire glory of the king's daughter is within a Jewish girl. For the king's daughter to leave her inner sanction is to expose herself to all sorts of negative encounters. This, however, cannot be Rashi's intention. A few chapters back, when Jacob is preparing for his encounter with his wicked brother Esau, we read, quote, "And Jacob took his 2 wives, his 2 handmaidens, and his 11 sons, and he crossed the ford of Jabbok. Where was Dinah? Jacob had placed her in a chest and locked her in it." Listen up, girl. "Jacob was punished, for had he not withheld her from his brother, perhaps she would have brought Esau back to the proper path." In other words, it was Jacob's isolation of Dinah and not Dinah and Leah's outgoings that was the cause of Dinah's misfortune. Dinah should not have been hidden from Esau. Her encounter with the big bad world should not have been avoided. Indeed, it should have been welcomed. Jacob should have realized that with Dinah's firm moral grounding and unassailable integrity, she was far more likely to influence Esau for the better. Dinah could have conceivably achieved that which her saintly grandparents, Isaac and Rebekah, and her father, Jacob, could not accomplish. Despite the fact that she was a young girl, she could have inspired Esau, a man who had incredible unrealized potential to mend his ways. We're almost over. This is a compelling demonstration of the influence a woman wields in her home. Shout out to my mom and to my wife, my Ezekiel wife. And all the other mothers out there, before you guys get in trouble, the men get in trouble. Our sages refer to the woman as the Akeret Habayit, the foundation of the home. For she sets the tone of her home, not through preaching or the power of persuasion, but by establishing the environment of the household. The energy of these illustrious Jewish women surely reside in Meirav, the daughter of Talia, and in this case also with humility, the daughter of Danny. I bless you, Meirav. I'm getting to the end. I bless you, Meirav, to continue to be the outgoing woman as you live your years fully. Your spiritual presence in our Modi'in community and your choice of schooling in Yachad, which means together, has ignited a spark within your friends and peers. This has not gone unnoticed by me and your mom. Clearly from the Shabbat mornings when your Torah observant and secular friends gather at our home early to walk with you to Shabbat prayers. It all began when you would sit on my lap in that small shtetl Beit Knesset in the old country. The spark of commitment continues in our new land. Now back to the 2 chickens. Anyone forget about the 2 chickens? The time has finally arrived. Let's seize the moment and give our complete loyalty, our 2 chickens, to our biblical foremothers, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, Leah, to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and to most of all, Mother Israel. Am Yisrael is turning ideas into action with her hands. We're using our 10 fingers, representing the 10 sferot, the building blocks of the universe, to create a message that we have accepted the responsibility and obligation to complete what they started. May Rav, her classmates, and Am Yisrael build our beloved temple in 5773. May it be Rav's generation.